going on, Napsters? Happy Thursday. Coming at you with another kind of similar lesson that we did on Tuesday, but we're just going to build on it a little bit. I want to give a shout out to the people that customized their graphs. They kind of changed the colors or changed the fonts. Also, there was a lot of really interesting answers to the questions I put out there. Some people were thinking about different seasons and different months and things that they expected and didn't expect. So I want to give a shout out to those people that really put a lot of effort and a lot of thought into what we're doing. Because as we build on this, we want to get more thoughtful and more interesting with what we say. Okay, so what are we doing today? Today we are going to be getting information from two different states and using a Google Sheet to compare them. So attached to today's lesson is going to be the link for the weather site, a blank Google Sheet, and a blank Google a Google form with some questions. And again, I want this to really, put as much effort and creativity into this as possible. Okay, so let's take a look at what we did here. It's pretty similar to what we did on Tuesday. However, you can see if we look at the top, I don't have this graph labeled as a state because we're doing two states. So what I did instead was I still have the category of month with all the months going down. Again, I didn't do all the months. I want you to do all 12 months. Next to it, I had rainfall in inches, and I labeled the state right there because this right here is my information for Minnesota. So I need to label the header needs to be rainfall in inches and the name of the state that you chose. Then next to it, you're going to do the same thing. Rainfall, inches, and the next state that you chose. So yours should look like mine. Now, here's what I want you to do. I would like you to, when you use this website, and you can always go back and click this United States button. That'll bring you back to kind of like the main-ish page. So here's how we're going to get a little bit different today. So I want you to pick a state from the West Coast and from the East Coast. All right, so this map should be popping up here, I think. Yeah, last time when we did it, this big old map pops up right here. But just for our sake, let's do it like this. I guarantee you as soon as I leave, it'll come back up. Nope, it didn't. Okay. All right. So like I said, I want you to pick a state from the West Coast, and I want you to compare it with a state from the East Coast. So let's get an example of what that would look like here. All right. So I'm looking at, why is my computer so slow when I make videos? Well, while we're waiting, let's talk about things that are green. Trees are green, grass is green, green crayons are green. I just want to zoom in on this map. I don't feel like it's that complicated. Maybe if we just double tap, it'll get us there. Anyway, this is all just to see what's on the East Coast and the West Coast. Okie dokie. So let's take a look here. All right, let's go with a state like Florida on the East Coast. So I would go here and I would choose Florida, wherever. Okay, great. Now I come back and the map is there. Anyway, this should show up faster on your computer. So I want you to click on the state that's on the East Coast for one of your states, and then a state on the West Coast for another state. So you're comparing an East Coast state to a West Coast state. All right. So remember, you can always click United States to go back to this main page. All right. So once you've picked your states, you're going to put your data out. Now, I didn't pick a West Coast and an East Coast state. I picked just two random states because I don't want to kind of show you what this is going to, I don't want to show you it. So now you're going to make a graph of all of this information. And it's really cool and really easy how you do this. So you just drag everything you have. You have to include your headers. When you drag it, you have to include month, rainfall for state 1 and rainfall for state 2. Then it's as easy as what we did before. Insert, chart. That's it. And then it'll come up with a chart for you. It's awesome. Google Sheets is awesome. So if we look at this now, the rainfall, and I kind of just made these numbers up. The rainfall for Wyoming is the red line, and the rainfall for Minnesota is the blue line. So you're going to be able to compare how the rainfall is different or similar. You're going to be able to compare the ways that they behave in different seasons, which one has more, which one has less. Do they follow a similar path? Do they follow an opposite path? So this is really, really cool. Also, some people did this, but you can go over on the right side and hit customize, and you can kind of make your colors different and text different and stuff like that. So let's get creative with that. So I want you to make your graph with 2 different states, and then I'm going to have a Google form with a couple questions on it. Let's get creative. Let's be interesting, because I think this is really cool if we do that. All right. Have fun. Enjoy. Bye.